So in the last lecture we were discussing, or we have discussed completely, the provisions of exemption under section 54. 54 is the exemption from capital gain which is available whenever the assessee, being an individual or HUF, sells a residential house and purchases or construct another residential house. I have discussed 54. I suppose, or I assume that there is no doubt in section 54. And if you have understood 54 clearly, then you can understand all the remaining exemptions. So now I'm starting with my next exemption, exemption under section 54B. Let us start with next exemption, 54B. So in the last lecture, I was discussing exemption under section 54 and I discussed it in detail. So now I'm starting with exemption under section 54B. Exemption under section 54B. Now in case of exemption under section 54, I was selling a residential house which should be a long-term capital asset. I, being an individual or HUF, must be selling a residential house which must be a long-term capital asset, and I should purchase or construct within 1 year before or within 2 years after, if purchase is there, or within 3 years after, if construction is there, another residential house. And whatever I invest is eligible for exemption in section 54B. 54B talks about agricultural land. This is what my section 54B is. So first point, conditions. Individual or HUF capital gain on sale of land. Long term, short term, it does not matter in 54B. The only word to be used is capital gain. It can be long term, it can be short term. In section 54, the compulsion was that my asset should be long term. But in 54B, compulsion is there must be a gain. It can be long term or short term. And what you are selling? Land. But third condition is assessee or his parents. Assessee or his parents must have been using this land must have used, not use, must have been, no, must have used, past tense, Okay, assessee or his parents must have used this land for agricultural purpose. For 2 years at least, immediately before its sale, before its transfer. Now this third is only theoretical condition. If today I am selling any land, if today I am selling any land, now this land which I am selling, it can be agricultural land, it can be industrial land, it can be any land, doesn't matter. But if I want to claim the exemption in the section 54B, then I can claim the exemption only if when I am selling agricultural land. This is what condition number 3 is, and at least 2 years. For 2 years at least, I have used this land for agriculture purpose. Just because I purchased land today, for next 1 month I am using it for agricultural purpose and then I am selling this land. That is not covered under section 54B. For 54B, the condition is at least 2 years you have spent, at least 2 years you have spent, or you have given the time to use that land for agricultural purpose. So 2 years time limit is must. If today I am selling this land, then immediately preceding this date, in the last 2 years, I must have used this land for agricultural purpose. So it is theoretical condition only. It has no practical relevance. This must be given to us in the question. Otherwise, I cannot make any assumption about this point. Or if I want to make an assumption, I can make any assumption whether used for agricultural purpose or not. Both will be correct. But an examiner is expected to give clear-cut instruction on this condition number 3. 4. Now what should I do? I should purchase. If I want to get the exemption, assessee must purchase another agricultural land within a period of 2 years from the date of transfer of original land. That's it. Now this is the date on which I am selling this land. In the past 2 years, this land must have been used for agriculture purpose, so it is theoretical condition. But if I want to claim the exemption, I must purchase another agricultural land and it is practical condition. I will check it practically, only then I will get the exemption under section 54B. So 4 points. Individual or HUF selling a land, that land must have been used by him or her or his parents for the past 2 years for agricultural purposes, and I should purchase another agricultural land within 2 years from the date of sale of this land. So in that case, how much will be if all the above conditions are satisfied? Amount invested in another agricultural land will be exempt from tax. Now let me discuss with you one point uh, from book. X, a resident individual, has earned a long-term capital gain of 17 lakh in the previous year 2021 by selling a land on 10th December 2020. So what is happening in my previous year 2021? Sale has taken place on 10th December 2020. This land was purchased by him 10 years ago and used for agricultural purposes by him for the past 4 years. I purchased it 10 years ago, but in the past 4 years at least, this land has been used by me for agricultural purpose. The long-term capital gain of 17 lakh can be exempt. Now, can you tell me if this gain is 17 lakh? If I want to claim the exemption, I'm Mr. X. I should make an investment. By how much time? I should purchase another agricultural land till 9th December 2022. That's it. If I purchase another agricultural land till 9th December 2022, whatever I will invest in that another agricultural land, that will become exempt from tax under section 54B. Please raise your hand if you have any doubt. Now you raise the hands if you have any doubt. Otherwise, I will assume that this point is clear. If you have any doubt, you please raise your hands. Otherwise, I am assuming that this point is clear. It is similar to 54. The only thing is, in 54, the gain must be long term. In 54B, it can be long term or short term. Both are entitled for exemption. There, the sale was of residential house. Now, the sale is of agricultural land. There, I can purchase or construct a house, but since it is a land, you cannot construct a land. You have to purchase. Land cannot be constructed. So only purchasing and within 2 years after the date of sale. There is no 1 year before, unlike in section 54. Now you have within 2 years after that sale. This is first stage. Next point. Now in 54 also what was happening, that land on which you are entitled for exemption, you cannot sell it within how much time? So this is consequence. This was there in 54 also. Consequences: if the land on which exemption has been claimed, Act says that till 3 years at least you should not sell this land. If you sell it, then you have to face some consequences. Consequences: if the land on which exemption has been claimed is transferred within 3 years from the date of its purchase. If this happens, then what are the consequences? The consequence is cost of acquisition will not be taken as actual cost. Will not be taken as actual cost of acquisition. This cost of acquisition will be reduced by the exemption under section 54B which you have taken. So this is like a penalty. Suppose this is like a penalty. Suppose I have actually acquired this land for 2 lakh rupees or 50 lakh rupees, for example 50 lakh rupees, and I got the exemption of 30 lakh. Suppose I purchased this land on which I have taken the exemption for 50 lakh, but my exemption came out to be 30 lakh. So in future when I will sell it, I will not say that I have purchased it for 50 lakh. I will say that though I purchased it for 50 lakh, but I got the exemption from the government 30 lakh. So technically my cost for the purpose of taxation is only 20 lakh. Let me discuss again an illustration. From our book Concept Building Approach, page number 7.32, illustration B. So I'm continuing the same illustration. Same illustration, that was illustration A. So what that illustration A says, that a land which has been used for agricultural purposes was sold on 10th December 20. A land was sold in the previous year 2021. So the sale value was not given, index cost not given, etc., etc. Directly I have been given the value of long-term gain, which was 17 lakh. So land was sold on 10 December 20. That's it. Now this illustration says, illustration B, suppose he purchases a land. Suppose he purchases a land to be used for agricultural purposes on 30th June 21. Now the time limit is till 9th December 22. This date of sale comes in the previous year 2021. The due date of filing return of 2021 is, let us say, 31st July 21. It is the due date of filing return of income. It is the due date of filing return of income. Now what my illustration says, suppose he purchases a land to be used for agricultural purposes on 30th June 21 for 15 lakh. So around 1 month before the expiry of due date, I purchased an agricultural land. I purchased an agricultural land. So it is within the limit. 15 lakh is the investment. I will get the 15 lakh exemption. There is no problem. It is my exemption under section 54B. And it is my taxable LTC. In this case, now I will get the exemption and my taxable gain becomes 2 lakh. That's it. Now what is the consequence? I should not sell this out. If I want to save myself from any consequence, then the condition is, house which I have purchased on 30th June 21, I should not sell this house till when? Till 29th June 24. I should not sell. This is the date. But what I did, I committed a mistake, or rather I should not use the word mistake. I sold the house. It's my choice. I sold it. I sold the house on 28th June 23. I sold the house on 28th June 2023. I sold this house. So I have to face the consequences, or I have to face the music now of the tax department. I sold this, not house. I should not use the word house since I just discussed with you 54. So that's why I might be saying house. So whenever I'm discussing 54B, if I'm using the word house, please read it as land for agricultural purpose. I sold this land for agricultural purpose on 28th June 23 for rupees 24 lakh. I sold it for 24 lakh. Since I have done sale, I have to follow the steps. Section 45 I will follow. Section 2 clause 14 I will follow. Section 2 clause 47 I will follow, and 47 section I will follow. When I have read these 4 sections, I found that income will be taxable under the head capital gain. So let us tax the income. In which year I sold the house? It is my previous year 23-24. If it is previous year 23-24, I can use the word assessment year 24-25. One and the same thing. Sale is what? 24 lakh. less expense on sale. Now, is it long term or short term? I purchased this land on 30th June 21 and I sold this land within 2 years from the date of its acquisition. So the holding period is less than equal to 2 years, and that is why the gain or loss is short term, where I will not do any indexation. So directly I will deduct cost. But what is my cost? Though in reality my cost is 15 lakh, but since I have sold this house, I have sold this land within 3 years from the date of its purchase, as I took the exemption under section 54B from the tax department, then department has a right to put some restriction. And department says within 3 years you should not sell. If you sell, then your cost will be treated as actual cost minus exemption which you have claimed from us. So my actual cost might be 15 lakh, but department has given me this as exemption already. 54B claimed earlier. $15 lakh. So technically, I have no right to say to the department now that 15 lakh is my cost. Department says that already we have given the exemption. Your cost technically is nil. There is no cost of improvement given in the question. So this 24 lakh is short-term capital gain. This 24 lakh is short-term capital gain for the previous year. 23-24, or I can say assessment year 24-25. The calculation is similar to the calculation used in section 54. Please raise your hand if this point is clear. Please raise your hand if this point is clear. Next point. If you have understood 54, then you will find similar provisions almost in every exemption. After this, just like 54, capital gain deposit account scheme, this of 54, same provision is applicable in 54B. Same provision, capital gain deposit account scheme, same provision. Same provision. Suppose I cannot take the decision till the due date of filing return of income, then what I have to do? I have to deposit the amount in capital gain deposit account scheme till due date of filing return of income, and whatever I will deposit, on the basis of deposit only, I will get the exemption under section 54B. But in reality, I should withdraw the amount and I have to utilize this amount within 2 years from the date of sale of the original land for the purpose of purchasing another agricultural land. So it is same. So I'm not discussing this. It is same as discussed earlier. Next point. Same just like 54B. Suppose you have not utilized the amount for purpose of purchasing another agricultural land. So then what consequences? Consequences, if the amount is not utilized for the eligible purpose within the time limit. Can anyone try to tell what will happen if I don't utilize the amount within the time limit? In section 54, what was happening? If you don't utilize the amount for purchase or construction of the house within the time limit, then after the expiry of 3 years, on the very next day, or the date which is in after the expiry of 3 years, on the very next day, unutilized amount will be taxable as long-term capital gain. Same is the point here. In this case, now the eligible time limit is 2 years. So just like in my question, when I'm selling the land on 10th December 2020, I repeat, if in section 54B somewhere, if by mistake I have used the word house, that is not the house, that is land for agriculture purpose. That's it. 10 December 20. That was the date of sale of land, agricultural land. If I want to get the exemption till 9th December 2022, I must purchase another agricultural land. But suppose I deposited some amount till due date. I deposited some amount till due date, that is 31st July 20. Not 20, 31st July 21. Whatever I have deposited, I have to utilize this amount till this date. If I fail to utilize some amount till 9th December 22, then what will happen? On very next day, 10th December 2022, unutilized amount will be taxable. Can you help me completing this line? On 10th December 22, based on my present example, the date is based on my present example. On 10th December 22, unutilized amount will be taxable as, what I will write after this, will be taxable as what? Capital gain. That's it. And this date is the year. It lies in the year. This date lies in the year in which time limit of 2 years expire. This is what my entire section 54B. Same thing, just like section 54. The only thing which is changed now is in 54 there was something like 2 residential house. So in 54B there is no need to discuss that point. Otherwise same thing. Please raise your hand if this point is clear. Otherwise you can ask me the doubt. After this I'll move to 54D. Raise your hands if the point is clear.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
सर मुझे थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम कल भी था, ये 31st जुलाई कौन सा डेट होता है एग्जैक्टली?
भाई अगर फॉर एग्जांपल आपका प्रीवियस ईयर क्या है? व्हाट इज योर प्रीवियस ईयर?
1st April to 31st March.
Year exactly with year.
1st April 2020 31st March 2021.
ठीक है. इस साल के रिटर्न आप गवर्नमेंट को कब तक फाइल करेंगे? मतलब आप गवर्नमेंट को कैसे बताओगे कि आपने इस साल कितना पैसा कमाया है? तो आपको एक रिटर्न फाइल करनी होती है गवर्नमेंट में. इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट आपको पैन नंबर के बेस पे आपको गवर्नमेंट को अपने रिकॉर्ड बताने होते हैं, भाई इस साल मैंने इतना पैसा कमाया है. इज इट क्लियर?
यस सर.
उसकी डेट क्या है? कब तक बताएंगे आप? 10 साल बाद तक तो नहीं बताओगे. तो गवर्नमेंट कहती है कि भाई अगर आपका प्रीवियस ईयर 20-21 है और अगर आप इंडिविजुअल हैं तो 31 जुलाई 2021 तक हमें अपने सारे रिकॉर्ड दे दें. मतलब अपनी रिटर्न फाइल कर दीजिए आप 31 जुलाई 2021 तक. Till 31st July 2021, I, being an individual, am supposed to compulsorily file my return of income till 31st July 2021 for the previous year 2021.
Okay, sir. Clear.
बिकॉज ऑफ कोविड सिचुएशन ये डेट एक्सटेंड हो गई थी, पर वो एक्सेप्शनल सिचुएशन है. आई एम नॉट एज्यूमिंग एनी एक्सेप्शनल सिचुएशन. आई एम एज्यूमिंग दैट everything is going on smoothly and there is no COVID situation existing. So I'm telling you the exact provision. Normally, the date for an individual is always 31st July 21. It sometimes extended. It gets extended because of some exceptional reason. But I'm going by the date 31st July 2021. That's it. Any other doubt? Next exemption, 54D.
यार एक्सक्यूज मी सर.
Yes.
सर इंडिविजुअल की बुक्स ऑडिट होती है?
डिपेंड करता है इंडिविजुअल्स की बुक्स ऑडिट उसकी है. अगर कोई बिजनेस एंड प्रोफेशन है, किसी का पीजीबीपी इनकम है, तो उसकी ऑडिट है 5 लाख या 10 लाख की लिमिट है. बुक्स ऑडिट होती हैं. यू कैन नॉट से दैट इंडिविजुअल्स बुक. अब मुकेश अंबानी जैसे लोग हैं, उनकी बुक्स ऑडिट तो होनी जरूरी है जिनकी करोड़ों की इनकम है. पॉइंट क्लियर?
यस सर.
तो जिनके हजारों करोड़ के टर्नओवर है, इतने हैवी प्रॉफिट्स हैं, बुक्स ऑडिट होती है. So let me tell you the exact that 5 crore. So the limit last time has been increased to 5 crore. Let me tell you that. This we will do in the chapter PGBP. In case I am a businessman, for example, if my sales exceeds 1 crore per year, then I have to get my accounts audited under section 44AB. Okay. In case I'm a businessman, then under section 44AB, I have to get my accounts audited if my turnover exceeds 1 crore. And this limit is 10 crore if 95% of my sales are in non-cash, because in that case audit trail will be found. So you can say that individuals accounts are also audited. Point clear?
Yes sir. Got it.
Okay.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर.
Yes.
सर मेरे को यहाँ पे एक डाउट था, जो अनयूटिलाइज्ड अमाउंट है वो टैक्सेबल होगी एज ए कैपिटल गेन.
हाँ.
तो वो शॉर्ट टर्म या लॉन्ग टर्म होगी? वो 10th दिसंबर को हमें जो भी मिला है, सेल किया है, उसके ऊपर डिपेंड करेगी.
हाँ, जो मेरा ओरिजिनल कैपिटल गेन है, अगर मेरा ओरिजिनल कैपिटल गेन शॉर्ट टर्म है, so that exemption reduced my short term. So now unutilized amount will be taxable as short term. If my original gain is was long term, so that amount reduced my long term. Now this unutilized amount will be taxed as long term gain.
Okay sir, got it. Thank you.
Shall I proceed now? Please raise your hands if you have no other query. Okay, 54D. Wait a second. 54D I'm giving for self-study so that you start learning from the act yourself. So I'm giving 54D for self-study. That is compulsory acquisition. So let me give you a brief idea about 54D. Now the topics which I'm giving for self-study, it does not mean that those are not in your course. I want to give you some topics for your own study so that you realize that self-study is the only authentic thing which you must never forget in your life. You must do self-study. Exemption under section 54. D. Compulsorily acquisition of land or building. Whenever government compulsorily acquires any land or building related to any industry in certain cases. So in what cases that compulsorily acquisition must be there? That you will study yourself from the act. Let me show you the act and let me give you a brief idea. But 54D is for self-study. I hope the website you can now easily see. This is my 54D. As you can see the heading, capital gain on compulsory acquisition of lands and buildings not to be charged in certain cases. So you have to read it yourself. I can show you some words. Industrial undertaking. These lands or buildings are related to some industry related point. Industry. And you have to read it yourself. That is self-study. I just wanted to show you, but detail you must read yourself. So that is for self-study. Next one, 54EC. This is my next exemption, 54EC. That is relevant, that I will discuss. 54EC. Conditions. Now in this case, you are selling land or building. So the sale is immovable property. This is what 54EC. Any assessee in 54 individuals or HUF, only those two. 54B individual or HUF. 54 EC, any assessee, individual, HUF, firm, whatever, doesn't matter. Sale of what? There must be capital gain, or you can say long-term capital gain on sale of land or building or both. So you are selling an immovable property, land or building or both. In 54, I was selling a residential house. In 54B, I was selling agricultural land, and in 54C, there can be a sale of land or building, agricultural, commercial, that is not mentioned. But land or building or both, that is immovable property, that's it. And gain also must be long term, not short term. In 54, long term is compulsory. In 54B, short term or long term both can be there. In 54EC, long term. And what you should do, you should invest. You should invest from this gain. You should invest this gain within 6 months of sale. You should invest this LTCG within 6 months of sale in what? In long-term specified assets. In long-term specified assets. What is this long-term specified assets? These are some bonds issued on or after 1st April 2018 of National Highway Authority of India or Rural Electrification Corporation. These two are companies, National Highway Organizations, or whatever you can say, National Highway Authority of India, NHAI, and REC, Rural Electrification Corporation Limited. Which are redeemable after a period of 5 years. National Highway Authority of India and REC, these issues bonds where I can invest the amounts. It is like a loan which I give to these companies, NHAI and REC. But this bond must not be redeemable before 5 years. If these are redeemable after 5 years, then it is my eligible investment for the purpose of claiming exemption under section 54 EC. Let us discuss an illustration. But one thing just you should remember, that maximum investment is 50 lakh. Maximum is 50 lakh. In you use this word 50 lakh maximum, 50 lakh in the year in which original asset is transferred. What do I mean by original? Land or building or both. In which the original asset is transferred and also in the subsequent year. I will tell you this, what do I mean by this language? In the year in which asset is transferred and also in the subsequent year, that I will explain. Let me first discuss with you an illustration. Again from my book, Concept Building Approach, page number 7.35, illustration. So there are some illustrations given on this page. I will discuss those one by one in a simplified form. For example, on 6th May 2020, for example, on 6th May 20, I sold a house property and there is a gain of 22 lakh. $13 lakh out of the sale. Now this is gain, not the sale. For example, whatever is my sale proceeds, 13 lakh I invested. 13 lakh invested. In NHAI bonds. On 31st October 2020. Can you tell me, will I get, my question to you is, will I get any exemption under section 54 EC in this case? 6 months time limit is June, July, August, September, October, November. Till 5th November, whatever you invest in these eligible bonds, you can claim the exemption. So my answer is yes. My answer, or my LTCG, which is taxable, will not be treated as 22 lakh. It will become 13 lakh. Sorry, not it will not become 13 lakh, it will become 9 lakh. 13 lakh is the exemption. Please raise your hand if this point is clear. It is easy as compared to 54, 54B and 54D. Please raise your hand if this point is clear. Next point. Next point. Can you tell me in the same example, if I make a change, that in the same example, I am selling a gold. I am selling some gold. Not a house property. I am selling gold. Can you tell me how much will be my exemption? How much will be my exemption? Any answer?
Nil.
Nil. Why? Because only on land and building, if I transfer long term, then only I can claim exemption of 54 EC. If I'm selling gold, I cannot claim any exemption of section 54 EC. Next point. Next point is same illustration going on. Suppose you are selling a commercial property. In my book, by mistake, I have written gold in illustration 4. So if you are referring my book, then that is not gold, that is commercial property in illustration 4. By mistake, I have written gold, that is commercial property. Now I am selling a commercial property on 26th Feb 2021. And there is a long-term capital gain of 90 lakh. I know that within 6 months, 25th Feb, sorry, not Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August, 25th August 2021, if I make the eligible investment, I will claim the exemption, but maximum is 50 lakh, that you must not forget. And yes, I made an investment. 60 lakh I invested. 60 lakh I invested in March 21. Can you tell me how much will be my exemption here? How much will be the exemption here?
50 lakh.
50 lakh. Because 50 lakh is the maximum ceiling, maximum. So my taxable LTCG will be 40 lakh. Illustration 5. I'm selling a commercial property, or I have sold a commercial property on 30th Jan 2021. 30th Jan 21. 6 years time limit is Feb, March, April, May, June, July. 29th July 21. LTCG 80 lakh. It is technical and very interesting. LTCG 80 lakh. Now from sale of this property, from sale of this property, I invested 40 lakh on 25th March 21. I invested 40 lakh on 25th March 21. And I invested 25 lakh. Not 25, yes, 25 lakh on 30th June 21. Can you tell me how much is my exemption? Anyone who can tell me the answer now?
Sir, 50 lakh.
Why? Why 50?
सर एग्रीगेट मैक्सिमम 50 होना चाहिए.
क्या चीज दोबारा बताइए आप?
Sir, maybe aggregate maximum should also be 50 lakh.
That means 40 is also eligible because this date is within 6 months. 25 is also eligible. The date is within eligible month. So total eligible investment is 65 lakh, but maximum in 1 year is how much? 50 lakh. It is previous year 2021 going on because this sale is in 2021. So my taxable LTCG in the previous year 2021 is 30 lakh. Please raise your hand if you have understood this fifth illustration. Please raise your hand without wasting your time if you have understood this illustration. Hurry up, if you have understood this, please raise your hand. Now you tell me one thing. It is correct, there is no problem. 30 lakh is the capital gain. I want to ask a question now. My question is, can I claim remaining? Can I claim remaining 15 lakh as exemption under section 54 EC in the previous year 21-22? Please tell me this answer. Can I claim remaining 15 lakh as an exemption under section 54 EC in the next year? Because if I say previous year 2021, then it starts from 1st April 21 till 31st March 22. So 30th June 21 comes in this year. When I made the investment of 25 lakh, out of 25 lakh, 10 lakh has been utilized here. 10 lakh has been already utilized. So can I claim remaining 15 lakh exemption in the next year? This is my question. Please answer or try to answer.
Sir, I think no, because Act is saying 50 lakh is maximum in the year in which original asset is transferred and also in the subsequent years.
Yes. So you cannot claim any exemption of 15 lakh in the next year. Answer is yes, I cannot claim any exemption. People were doing some fraud initially because this line was added later on. What people were doing when they were selling the house, that fifth illustration is the best example. What people were doing initially, they were claiming the exemption 50 lakh here and they were claiming this exemption of 15 lakh here also in the same example. So government added this line later on that aggregate exemption in the same year as well as in the subsequent year cannot exceed 50 lakh. So it was added later on because of such example, because of this fifth illustration which I have given. Because of this situation, the government added this point that even in the subsequent year and in the same year in which you are selling this land or building or both, aggregate on this land or building cannot exceed 50 lakh. This was added later on when government found that people were doing tax avoidance. It is known as tax avoidance, where tax evasion is when you clearly conceal your income. It is a fraud and punishable. Tax avoidance is when you are finding the loopholes in the law and you are misusing those loopholes to get the benefit. So in my book, at so many places, I have raised those issues with the help of those illustrations, which will help in clearing these concepts technically, that what is the exact meaning of this point, like subsequent year. Because of this situation, this problem, now it is clear that I will not get any exemption, but it was not clear till this line was added by the government through amendment later on, that in this subsequent year also the aggregate should be 50 lakh. Anyhow, that's all for today, and now we will be starting in the next lecture 54F. That's all from my side. In case you have any query, you can stay. Otherwise, you can leave the session. Goodbye.